Well, very good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the North Hobart Football Oval. It is Friday night football in the STJFL, and we are very pumped. It's the under-13 top-of-the-table clash, 1v2. Clarence, at the moment, have the ascendancy in the early rounds. They came out in the victors very easily, but North Hobart turned the tables and almost got up against them, Clarence, just by the 3 points. So it is a big crowd building for what's going to be a thriller. And just before the players came out, we were lucky enough to catch up with Super Coach Matthew Gapin of the Clarence Football Club, and we'll now go down to the field to have a look at that interview.
You're on.
It doesn't get much bigger than this in the STJFL Friday night football, 1v2 in the under-13 ranks. And we're lucky enough to be joined by the coach of the all-conquering Clarence team sitting atop the table, Matty Gapin. It's a big game for these young fellows on the hallowed turf tonight.
It is, mate. I mean, whoever thought of the concept of this was a great idea. I think the STJFL did that, which the boys are very excited about, no doubt about that.
And it's fantastic they are playing here, because this is where the grand final is played, and it's sometimes a little bit awkward to get onto this ground, and so it'll be nice to familiarise yourself. We've got the lesser lights like the TSL coming after. I mean, this is where the crowd will be gathered for, so it'll be really fantastic for them to get a sense of the occasion, I would have thought.
Yeah, very much so. I think they should play a few more games. Like, it was our first game in the grand final last year. They really enjoyed it, but they were a little bit overawed as well, because we sort of struggled a bit early, and then they got into the game in the second half. So certainly a good tester going into the next couple of weeks.
So how have you enjoyed the season on a personal perspective as coaching these young men?
I think it's a great time. I think they're sort of becoming young men now, and we can have a bit of fun with them. Certainly got a really good side here, but North Hobart, we were pretty lucky last time we played them. We actually snuck over the line by 3 points after sort of cleaning them up early in the year, so they're certainly getting a lot closer to us.
Well, I know as I came up, I walked from the city, I went through, and the cafes were overflowing, some of the bars, so there's a big crowd coming. Let's be on our best behaviour, and it's going to be a fantastic game. I hope you'll enjoy it. All the best. That's very much high excitement and big stakes. First time these young kiddies are on the hallowed turf, and it is a treat at Duff TV to be bringing you this big clash. And Duff, how do you see this game panning out?
Oh, it should be a great experience for the boys up here today at North Hobart Oval. Hoppy 1v2. The word is that North Hobart have trained 3 times this week in the lead-up. Big match for them, and let's just see how much improvement they've really made this year. Yeah, very much so. These two teams have been going at it since kiddies at under 8, and they've been pretty close. I would have thought at the moment Clarence definitely have their nose in front. They had the premiership there last year, and both teams are very well drilled, and you can see it is the last game, roster game there. It means a lot. There is no doubt about that. It's bragging rights, and you want to come into finals football with confidence. And I have to say, what about the forward-thinking STJFL executive putting this great game on, showpiece for Friday night football, Duff? Don't worry about your AFL later on and your TSL. This is where it's at. The biggest football competition in the state. Nearly 3,500 to 4,000 kiddies running around week in, week out, and it's great to see them here on the hallowed turf, and beautiful conditions to play footy, Duff. Yeah, no, very still. Slight breeze coming towards us. I don't think it's favouring any end. And these young combatants out here, they look prime, Hoppy. Any big names you can see on the team list there? Well, talking of that breeze, I was just out in the middle a minute ago, and it's probably a little, maybe a 1-goal breeze going down towards the Darren Perry end, as we can see here on screen the two teams, Duff. And yes, you can suddenly see with Clarence some of their great players that they've had in the past have sired some young kiddies, and here they are running around. Of course, you see Maxie Gapin there, son of course, Matthew. And we've got your Daniel Cooney. That's a famous name. We've what have we got there? We just run that down. It's I think there's a herd somewhere.
We got Cooney. You got your herd. Fantastic young kiddies. It is now back here, and the game is underway as Harper stole that one and went forward, but North Hobart good enough to stop that and repel it in front. Nice play there taking their time, just driving it down towards the half forward. And that's a feature of what Clarence have been doing all season. As soon as they get the ball, they take the blinkers off. They don't just bomb it, and they just look for someone leading, and they're very good at doing that. And North Hobart have to be very careful on those leads, as a nice mark is taken there by Cooney. Cooney now just taking his time. As you can see, he doesn't like to bomb it, goes to short pass a little bit wide. That's a really good spoil there by McLeod, and he thumps it out, and it will be a ball up in the attacking zone for Clarence.
And we've got the,
here's one of your great things, Duff. Have you got them organised tonight?
Yeah, no, I've got the boundary umpires here tonight. Very happy about that.
Oh, it's fantastic, and why wouldn't you? It's a big event here. There's been a whistle on play, and I think there's been a holding off ball, and Creswell takes it. Creswell gets it back in the middle towards Mundrill. Can't take it, but trying to barge their way through was Salzberger, and he's been pinged there and taken by Noonan. Noonan goes further afield. A lovely lead, and Harper, the skipper, goes back and have the first shot on goal. That was a really good play by the forwards there, Duff. Not like when you and I played. They actually chased very, very hard as Harper, left foot just goes a little bit from left to right. Goes back in a succession of handballs. It's all Clarence at this early stages. They've been inside their 50 3 times, as it is 1 minute 46 down, and another boundary throw-in will take place. Good crowd building. You'd expect that, though. 1v2, top of the table clash. North Hobart, they get their hands on the onion now as they go out wide, just trying to repel that attack. It goes close to the boundary line, and all but like in rugby parlours, finds touch. Very clever play, taking it wide, and it will be another ball in, but at the safety of that halfback / wing position. There's a lot of improvements being made here at North Hobart, Duff.
Yeah, I was just going to say, we're filming from a different location up here in the old Roy Kazali stand, because the Peter Sharp Tower's come down. There's a new media facility going up.
All right, so that was more drill. Got it for Clarence, but this time it's North Hobart who go into attack. It's picked up by Connor. Goes out further afield. There's a big chance. If they can get it, they can do. And it is Smith who screws that ball around. And North Hobart, with their first inside 50, have got the first score on the board. They go on to 1 behind to Clarence, yet to score, but have been quite dominant in that early stages, Duff.
And I must explain to the viewers and yourself, Andrew, sorry if I'm coughing quite a bit. I actually just had a salve. And it's gone down the wrong pipe, so excuse me.
I don't think there is any pipe that a sap could go down the wrong way with you, Duff. You don't swallow them, mate, you inhale them. As that ball goes further back in towards the centre half forward position. A very strong tackle there by the North Hobart power forwards. Terrific work there by Jakey Smith. And Setchell was not going to get out of that. As we can see here on the Mood Food replay, as that ball came in, it was a fantastic tackle. It's North Hobart now. They're going forward, going down to try and pick that one up. It's Owen Setchell again, gets a lovely handball as they run out of danger. That's Hurd. Harvey Hurd gets it towards that wing position. Beautiful mover, always graceful on his left foot. It's North Hobart now. Bludgeon that one forward they go. They've got some size about them, try to go handball back inside. That's a nice handball to that area of danger. A lot of uncertainty about that one. Trying to pick it up was Reynolds, as he has a shot on goal. He held it a little bit too long on that particular occasion. And Clarence in their back line are holding up very nicely, Duff, with some good tackling.
No, you're sounding great through the commentary here as these are 50 here. Hoppy, you sound a little bit like BT then when you said back unside. So just be very careful that if you don't mind. I'm not a fan of BT, but anyway, back to the commentary.
No, it's all Fox down here, Duff. I just want to get the clarity there. I've been told sometimes I slur my words.
Oh, right.
So I'm really trying to pronounce as best I can. I've been here with Jerry. Jerry's been taking me through the ABCs, and I've done an hour's pre-season, Duff. And
yes.
So I'm really going to be looking forward to pronouncing every single word to come out of the old North and South in this big clash. Nice throw in. Picking it up now is Salzberger. He's got a bit of size about him. He'd be at least about 181, a very big cut of a man as it goes in. Clarence couldn't quite get the Dukes on that one. But now picking it up, that's Lee Song, and Lee Song drives it forward. And that particular occasion, they didn't have the eyes up, just went for that longer kick, and North Hobart were quite happy to push that one out, and it goes in from the boundary throw in.
You sense it's going to be an arm wrestle, don't you?
It is a bit of an arm wrestle, as picking that one up now. That was Noonan to snap it back towards the goal. It has missed the goals, but that's the first score for the Roos, and it is 1 point apiece here at the 5.5-minute mark of the first quarter. It is the under-13 football Friday night coming to you from the North Hobart Oval. And Clarence kicking to right of screen down towards the Darren Perry end. Nice tap out there. Picked up. Well done there by McLeod. Harrison McLeod gets it towards the wing position. Leading out strongly was Sullivan. He couldn't quite take the ball, but going back in again was Barmford. Coming out now. Well played by Tar.
We're back.
Yeah, sorry about that, ladies and gentlemen. A little bit of a hitch there with the telecommunication line coming in, and now it is back, and we're secure to see North Hobart stream towards the goal. That is a lovely kick. I think that might have been Jake Smith who has kicked that goal, and it certainly was. That was beautiful play there, Duff, as he got the goal, and he just steadied himself beautifully, didn't he? He saw the open goal. He put it at about from 5 metres out and slotted that one through for a beautiful goal for North Hobart to open up their account. As we have a look on the Mood Food replay, he just summed it up beautifully and put that one through for a goal. He's got a bit of talent about him, Duff.
Yeah, there's some great movers out there already. You can see why these two teams are 1 and 2 on the ladder. But that was a great team goal there by North on the board.
They certainly are. So we're back into the centre of the ground. Up it goes. You'd think North Hobart have got a little bit more size about them, haven't they, Duff? I know Clarence,
a bit bigger, yeah.
Clarence very much tend to look for each other as Salzburger goes in and didn't take the mark on this, but look at the backing up. Goes the beautiful smother there. That was terrific play by some of the undersized player, but they do the team things to Clarence in these early stages. Coming out really hard. Picking up his Lee Song. Lee Song goes back inboard, trying to find an ally, and he does so in Cooney. Back inside to Creswell. Creswell goes running with the ball. He's got to be careful. He's been mowed down, and that brings the crowd alive. Excellent work by Harrison McLeod. McLeod with a wobbly old punt kit. Leading out was Reynolds. Reynolds goes further. He tries to bend down. Big opposition by Massey. Fierce contest, and the umpire has no option but to ball that one up.
Oh, let's have a look at that replay. Brilliant.
Oh, that rundown is just special. It's one of the big highlights of footy, isn't it, Duff, when you see someone running with the ball, but the intensity and the intent of someone to follow up and chase and get them wrapped up in a tackle. It really does lift a team. So it's North Hobart on that wing position. Goes into their forward line yet again. They're starting to get a little bit more of the ball now. As they're bumbling it towards the line, they do very nicely to try and keep it over. They tap it back, but I think it's been deemed as a throw. And the umpire says it's a Clarence free kick. As you can see, the fullback square is right in front of our eyes. Nice kick, defensive kick. In front, couldn't quite take that one as McLeod, but they butter up again as they're really searching for more goals now, North Hobart. They've got a sniff, but that one has been off to the side, and that one goes through to their second behind. They are now 1 goal to 8 in front of Clarence, 1 behind. Clarence at this stage, though, Duff, have had more of the play inside their 50, but North Hobart are really now forcing the issue as they go back in. Not as much system as the Roos when they get the ball, but it's just the amount of ball that North Hobart are getting is going to really tell the pressure on the Clarence defenders, Duff.
Yeah, you really sense North is really up and about. I mean, Clarence looking good as well, but just that early goal always gives you a bit of belief, doesn't it?
It certainly does. Tapping it back inboard. It was Williamson the last one to touch it, but there's been a ruck infringement, and the Clarence ruckman Fletcher Richards will take the free kick.
Son of the great Mark. Went to school with Mark.
another Warrane grammar boy?
Yeah, he was a great scholar like myself.
Okay, so Clarence now, you can see they run in numbers. That's a lovely kick and beautiful hands there by Ward. Ward not sure what to do, just needs to go back and take his time, looking for a lead. And this is what Clarence do. They take their time to try and match up now. This is young Maxi Gapin, and Gapin traditionally never really wastes the ball.
That was Cat-like, wasn't it? Remember Cat as a footballer? Wasn't a bad player, Hoppy.
Oh, I think this young fella's taken it up a notch, Duff.
You think so?
Oh, yeah, no doubt about that, as Williamson has taken a very nice mark, and it is now Williamson to have the shot on goal. No breeze to talk of, kicking towards that Darren Perry end. He slots it, and it's just gone a little bit left to right, just always was going to miss on the near side and through for that minor score. But that was an excellent display there of what Clarence are good at, Duff, isn't it?
Yeah.
When they get the ball, they run in numbers, and they don't waste the ball. They never like to kick it into a pack.
Very clean under pressure.
Yep. And win, lose or draw, no matter what, Duff, excuse me, it's going to put them in good stead because it's a terrific brand of footy, isn't it? Okay, so North Hobart go into attack again. They get the run of the ball, they come back inside. Some of their big stars can't quite get the handle on it, but they push their way forward as Sullivan nudges that one towards the goal. They're under enormous pressure as Clarence picked that one up on the last line of defence, comes right out down in front of our commentary position. That's magnificent pick up there by Massey. He goes inboard and he hasn't got a lot to go to, as kicking that one was Caswell.
Yeah.
I dare say he's probably shanked that one, and it's off to the side and out of bounds. And so Harvey Hurd will take that free kick, and he is another kid who doesn't really waste the ball. He hasn't let me down on this particular occasion as he finds the player leading in Harper. Harper gets it further afield towards Giles, and that was nicely worked by Clarence. They're trying to find that loose man. Johnson picks it up over towards Gapin. Gapin with a little dinky kick to find the open space. He goes back in. He never lets his man down to follow that one. That's a beautiful tackle, barging their way. And Mordrill said, "You're not getting through here, not on my watch." And takes a terrific tackle, undersized, but terrific work. Goes wide, looking for a further afield, but it has gone out. And you can see here, thought he was going to get through as the big fella there in McLeod, but embraced that beautiful tackle by Mordrill. And it is getting close to quarter time. It's nearly 13 minutes gone in the first quarter, coming to you from Duff TV, live from the North Hobart Oval. It is the game of the round in the STJFL. Friday night football, under 13s, Clarence in the traditional red and white strip against North Hobart. Just gets their kick in the nick of time, but North Hobart 1 against 4. Who's going to win out? I think the numbers at this stage. A bit of a dummy. I think that was, again, Johnston. Gets it further to his teammate. A very fortunate bounce. A snap towards the goal. And the consummate defensive work there. And I think that was Hasty, the skipper, putting it through for the minor score. Both defences really holding up well, Duff.
Yeah, because both forward lines look very dangerous taking the ball forward. So I think it's set for a great game here, Hop.
Certainly is. Just taking their time. With only just over a minute to go, you would hate to lose a goal in these late stages of quarter one. North Hobart just arching the back as they come round here. Wouldn't they love to get one more score? As the big man there was Brocky Sullivan. And as the whistle went, it was called out of bounds. I mean, you might have looked at the replay there. I don't think it was. But the umpires are closer than the old Silver Fox, so let's defer to them. And they do a great job. Excuse me. As we can see here, it was well over the line. Those guys have got eagle eyes as Gapin picks it up. He goes onto his wrong side, which is the left foot. Almost a half a minute to go. They're craving this score as Johnston leads out. But that was Noonan who comes through. He is felled by, again, a fantastic tackle. And that was a nice one there by Hughes. Hughes looks for his teammate in Butler. Butler looking for a handball. He finally gets that one over the top. And here they go again to North Hobart. The running players, can they take a mark and have the last shot on goal? They can't, as Hurd picks it up. We know he's always going to run, Hurd. Tries to find up a teammate. But the siren has gone here for quarter time. in what has been a very much enthralling game. We just checked the scores. It is North Hobart 1 goal to 8 to Clarence 3 behinds, and the goal scorer was Jake Smith. And Duff, that was a very entertaining first quarter of football.
Yeah, really enjoyed that. The ball flowing around, not a lot of goals, but going from one end to the other, and that's what we always like to be looking at when we're watching a game of footy. Fast-flowing football, very skilled players, and it's all set here, Andrew.
It certainly is. So, ladies and gentlemen, we hope you're enjoying the coverage coming to you from the North Hobart Football Oval. We're going to take a short break, and we'll be back with the second quarter in just a few moments. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to North Hobart Oval for the second quarter in Friday night. Clarence now taking that ascendancy early in the quarter, but an errant kick goes into the hand of Harrison McLeod. McLeod, he's been an absolute enforcer so far in this game. He's been very good, drifting across the front of the packs like we saw just then, and the tackling so far, the pressure in this game is immense, as the boys didn't quite hear the whistle on that occasion, and North going to go back and have a shot on goal. Of course, that goal just a few minutes ago from Maxi Gapin was the first one for Clarence. And here is their lining up for their second. And Noonan has put that one through. Well played by Darcy Noonan. And so Clarence now with 2 goals in this quarter, really starting to get a wriggle on and get full value for those forward thrusts. Gee, they moved the ball nicely there. And it is Clarence really looking dangerous at this stage. So they move on to, I think they're on 2 goals, 3, 15. And of course, North Hobart, they are 1 goal. Let's have a look here. 1 goal, 2-8. So pretty close encounter, but it's a very close game between 1 and 2. But in the early stages of this arm wrestle, it is Clarence who certainly settled the better in this particular quarter. Goes out towards the wing position. Bit of a stacks on the mill there. Umpire's letting it go. And comes in now to have a ball up. Very even contest. And it was interesting there that in the first quarter, Clarence had all the play in that first 4 to 5 minutes, but didn't get any goals, where this time they had 2 forward entries, and both resulting in shots, and the major result came to them. North Hobart, they're under enormous pressure, as well picked up there by Jones. Jones goes out there, but Noonan takes the mark. Noonan looking to put a little bit more pressure on North Hobart, goes long, but backing back is Nathaniel Salzberger, taking a very strong mark. A good cut of a lad. Salzberger, nice play by North Hobart, trying to shepherd as Gapin comes in to apply the pressure, and again we'll see another boundary throw in. Good crowd come in nice and early, starting at 5 o'clock. Mums, dads, grandparents, they're all out here watching this big game in the under-13 division of the STJFL. As kicking that ball forward is Cracknell, who's been really good, and I like the way Cracknell, when he gets the ball, he takes the game on. And this particular occasion, taking a strong mark there is Fletcher Richards. Richards taking his time at centre half back, goes out towards that wing position, not wanting to waste the ball. Gapin's there, gets a handball backwards to another running player, ends up towards Creswell. Very good hands as Creswell almost gets that ball inside the 50. Running back is Salzberger. He's bumped over as Gapin's there again at the bottom of the pack, as he traditionally normally is. Gets another good handball by always being good by foot or by hand, and might have been held a little bit too long, and it's going to be Clarence to take that free kick yet again. Just taking their time. You can see there on the Mood Food replay, it was definitely a bit too high, and Harrison McLeod just drifting back takes another quality mark.
It's a good player, this McLeod, Hoppy.
Oh, he's an absolute one out of the box, Duff. He's a beauty. He'd be first picked on any team. Running back there was Harper, the skipper. Harper gets it out towards that wing position. It just goes a little bit too wide before Riley Johnston can get there, and it'll be a boundary throw in. 7 minutes gone. I was just saying it before, Duff, that Clarence have had pretty much similar amount of time in their forward line as they did in the first quarter. The difference being they were very clean this time, and they got full reward with those 2 goals.
Yeah, no, good couple of quick early goals in the second term. Handy lead now, 7 points.
Well, it is in this type of football when it's really, really close. 1 point can just make the difference. There is no doubt about that. Umpire throws it aloft. No tap to any significance. As Clarence, they've been very good below their knees. I know that Coach Gapin and assistant coach Setchell have been really drilling that into the boys and just throwing lots of balls below their knees, because it is a very, very good thing to be doing. A majority of the ball is picked up from the ground, so that's a thing that any kiddie out there really needs to practice. I think that was Cracknell again. He was pulled back without the ball. It was Noonan who got a little bit exuberant on that particular occasion. So off he goes again. He's got plenty of metres gained, Duff, as I just checked our laptop.
Looking down there?
Oh, well, we're just looking down here at
92.
the computer. He's got 103 metres gained up already.
Yeah, 92 before that kick.
Yeah, absolute fantastic performance by that young fella. That's Angus Cracknell, blonde of locks, free flowing, and he just takes the game on as soon as he gets the ball. Talking of which, no one going for the ball, that one, waiting for each other, as kicking it off the table was Caswell. Oh, it keeps it in, and there are 4 Clarence players in. They've got to be careful as they get their hands on it. Oh, that was well done. Came out towards Caswell. This man has been good down back, Duff. I've liked the work of Fletcher Richards at centre half back.
Plays just like his dad, the big, long, lanky legs, and you know, very steady down the back line. Great disposal. He's a very good handy player.
Certainly is, as Williamson went towards that one.
His dad was an All-Australian.
Yes, and there, talking of which, was Gapin who gets it out, and they've been good by foot. And I like the way that ball came forward very quickly, and Clarence has got their 3rd on the trot. Let's have a double check on the Mood Food replay to see who kicked that opportunist goal. I thought it might have been Creswell, but let's have a look here. You can see here the ball comes out, and it was Lee Song. Lee Song who just kicked that one from all but outside the 50-metre and put it through, Duff, for a very, very nice goal.
The son of Daniel.
Absolutely. There are lots of sons of a gun out there playing tonight, isn't there?
Oh, yeah.
So
I filmed Daniel's wedding about 35 years ago, I think it was.
35 years ago, is that right,
no,
Duff?
Not that long, but Many moons ago, Hoppy.
All right, so another big, strong hit out by Clarence. They're starting to become a little bit more dominant in this second quarter. They really held firm in that first quarter. It was a real arm wrestle, but they've been so clean with the ball so far in this quarter, and North Hobart have got to be a little bit careful, because if you give this team a bit of a sniff, they can run over the top of teams that they've done all year. And they need to stay with them as long as possible, like they did in their last encounter, and almost got over the line. That was one of the best games of footy you and I have seen all year, Duff.
Yeah, no, but nice run there by North Hobart. A few goals down here at the moment, but yeah, definitely don't count them out.
So, boundary throw in, comes out towards Cracknell. He turns them inside out as he tries to find up and spot a teammate, and couldn't do so. And it will be another boundary throw in. Nearly 11 minutes gone, Duff.
Handy little player, isn't he? Just got a lot of time.
Yes, he has.
Creative.
Yeah, I just like the spirit in which he plays the game. He's an absolute beauty. Boundary throw in. Well, I think that particular time, the hand went down, and I think Gapin, who was taking the tap there, he had the ruckman, which was Salzburger, put the big left Duke down onto his shoulder, and quite right, the umpire played that free kick to try to knock that one out, but it wasn't going any further. The umpiring so far, Duff, has been absolutely high quality.
Yep. So we think we've sorted out our technical issues, Andrew. We can hear you nice and loud and clear now.
Oh, that's terrific. I know we've had a lot of tweets about that, Duff, and we do apologise. It was out of our control. We've been on the phone to Telstra and Aurora, and the powers that be have come in, the workmen, very swiftly, Duff. They came here straight away, and the tradesmen have got to work and fixed this telecast. So hats off to them, and a warm thanks. We might have a little lazy pigs here after the match. Is going up, taking almost a cracker of a mark there was Harper, almost injured in the back, but Hurd grabs it and drives that one down to that half-back flank. Handball's back over, as it is Clarence holding firm so far in this quarter, and North Hobart just can't seem to score at all, as Clarence have put on 3 goals and another boundary throw in, and the lights are really starting taking effect here, Duff, at North Hobart Oval. And I know these kiddies were very, very excited to be playing here on a Friday night.
Yeah, they had one match on the great hollow turf of North Hobart, and I think lost a prelim final in 1986. There's some irrelevant information for you, Andrew. You played out in the ground a few times, no doubt.
Yes, I have, Duff. It's without doubt the best footy oval to play on in the world. You can forget your Wembleys or your MCGs. North Hobart Oval is where it is, Duff. It's the Coliseum. You feel like every player is being watched so intently. You can hear the crowd breathing over the top of you. It's a fantastic viewing ground, intimate boutique stadium in the middle of what is this great city of Hobart, in one of the very old established suburbs, North Hobart. There's the boundary throw in. It's getting close towards half-time. The big men, they go off. It's Lee Song over the back there. Bit of a snap-on goal there by Davey. Davey couldn't get a shot. Oh, that's just a little bit too high, as Creswell goes now. He plays on. Can they find a mark? It goes over the back. Almost taking that one was Davey, but couldn't do so. Another handball to Lee Song. We know he knows where the goals are because he's already got one, but he's just sprayed that one a little bit too wide and through for the minors score. But it's been all Clarence in the second quarter, Duff.
Yeah, they just can't get it down forward, can they, North? I think
they've been down there
maybe once, I think.
Yeah, twice, in fact. You're right on the money there, Duff, and Clarence have held firm, and here they go again as they're trying to find Sullivan. Sullivan goes out, but there is the silky skills of Hurd. Picks it up. He's just like a Rolls Royce out to Gapin, who decides to come inside. Goes on his left side towards Williamson. Williamson, lovely kick to the advantage of Cooney, who started at the back and then just found his way forward and has taken a very nice mark and will have a shot on goal, Duff.
Oh, what a great build-up by Clarence then.
Well, it was, wasn't it? So Cooney, we can see here, be right on his limit, goes towards the goal and just towards that other side, and one minor scored up.
So hard when you're the opposition playing against such talented team in Clarence. They seem to have a lot of options coming forward. North Hobart didn't do anything wrong there defensively as the ball came down, but Clarence are just very, very good players.
You can see here, that was a nice play by Kearney, wasn't he? He just dropped off the back slightly, so there was no body contact, and at that last minute, just shot around the defender and took a very, very nice mark. So, ladies and gentlemen, it is half-time here in the STJFL game of the round. And it is Clarence now, 3 goals, 5-23, with goals to Maxi Gapin, Darcy Noonan and Charles Leesong. To North Hobart, 1 goal to 8, and their goal scorer is Jake Smith. It was interesting in that quarter, Duff. Some of the prime movers got their hands on the onion, especially Maxi Gapin, who got that first goal. But not only that, just looking down there, I think he had about 14 touches by both foot and hand, and really got the ball rolling. And Lee Song started to get the touch. Both Lee Song and Noonan, the bigger men for Clarence, stood up beautifully in that quarter. And I also loved the work of the centre-half back. I think that was young Fletcher Richards.
Yeah, big Richards.
Cracknell for North Hobart really tried hard in that quarter. Harrison McLeod drifted across half back, and the other fella that did a really nice job was Nathaniel Salzberger. So it's all to be played for in the second half. So we hope you're enjoying the Duff TV coverage from North Hobart. We're going to take a short break now, so now's the time to put the kettle on, go and get the cup of tea and come back for the second half live from North Hobart in about 10 minutes. Lee Song goes back in board, trying to find an ally, and he does so in Cooney. Back inside to Creswell. Creswell goes running with the ball. He's got to be careful. He's been mowed down, and that brings the crowd alive. Excellent work by Harrison McLeod. Boy.
Yeah, he was great.
Because I said to him,
because he had a...
So welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to the second half of the game of the round. It is Clarence v North Hobart in the start of what is the STJFL finals. So just conferring on those previous rounds, it was in round 4 that Clarence had a very, very big win, 69-9. But then in round 13, North Hobart really got their act together and charged hard, and they were on 41 to Clarence's 44. Both teams are well coached. As you can see, the senior players going off. Matty Gapin, the coach, the 40-year-old business proprietor, coaching before. Of course, he coached Clarence in the juniors. He coached North Hobart and played with Clarence, Eastlake, North Hobart and the Tassie Devils. And one of the things I think is most interesting, as he says, one of the biggest influences on his footballing career is family. Brad Hasty is the coach of the North Hobarters. It's great to see the senior players watching their charges come out. The 43-year-old primary school teacher, played coaching history as with the North Hobart Juniors and the state under-12 assistant. He played football with St Virgil's in the Old Scholars, Central's Trinity Beach in the Cairns Football League, and New Norfolk in the TFL. Greatest influence, Paul Mansfield, Darren Denman and Cameron Brown. Very much loves his basketball, movies and cooking. And interesting advice for any kiddie watching that is work hard. Whenever you get the opportunity, take and work hard. So that's good advice for anyone watching, as we are back into play now, as Cracknell got that handball out, but a very nice tackle by Clarence there, and it will be a ball up. Charles Lee's song, I thought, really came on in that second quarter, as did Noonan and Gapin. Bit of a clumsy tackle there by North Hobart. As the ball comes forward, there's been a few changes as Johnston, who is across half back now, goes into half forward. It'll be interesting to see if super coach Hasty has made any changes to get this team moving. They've got the talent, they've got quality players. Talking of one, there is Harrison McLeod, who picked that ball up, but he was dealt a bit of a bump, and so the ball comes out now to Setchell. Setchell just swooped on that one. Running around the back there was Cooney, who gets it in towards that full forward area. That's that area of danger. I love the way that ball came into space. It wasn't to anyone in particular, and that is a set play by Clarence. They've done that well all year, and Ethan Williamson was good enough to know where the ball was going, and he ran out and take the mark. He comes in, and that is just the start that Clarence would have liked, to just really settle their nerves and get the belief that they have been good enough all season, and they're good enough in this semi-final, and they want to go forward. So North Hobart, they've really got to watch their body language, as they know they can win, but if they get another goal down, they need someone to give them a spark.
Right.
And it'll be fascinating to watch what happens in the dynamics of this under-13 game.
Spot on there with the body language. I didn't like it as North Hobart were coming off at half-time. It was heads down, walking off. And just that goal there, a couple of the boys there, heads down again. So let's be very interesting to see if they can spark back up here, the North Hobart Demons, Hobby.
Yeah, let's hope they haven't resolved themselves to the thought that this one has slipped away. There's plenty of time, and they are certainly a quality outfit. As Cracknell pushes that ball forward, he has that never die attitude, and it has gone out of bounds. So we can see some of our very, very generous sponsors, Cripps, Bennett's Petroleum, Mood Food, and the Jackson Motor Car Company. Really, we thank them ever so much for their continued support of the youth of Tasmania in junior football and Duff TV, as that was Salzburger. Tried to get the handball out. Over the top come the diminutive Cooney, applying plenty of pressure. Another handball comes out. That was Salzburger. And it's a good defensive play by Clarence. If they can't score, this will just do them nicely, Duff, to slow the play down.
You just can't get any run, can they? Good defensive pressure since quarter time by the Roos.
Yeah, they just need Salzburger, McLeod and Cracknell get the ball in their hands, and here is that man as he tries to push that one back, and it only goes to the advantage of Gapin, who ends up with the ball. Stabbing pass to the leading forward on the way out. But backing back is William Davey, and now it comes out to Hasty, the skipper. Hasty goes back the other way. He's under all sorts of pressure, and he's very fortunate to get the tap out, but it only goes to Setchell. Setchell goes down. He had plenty of options, as this particular time it is to Williamson. Williamson on to Johnston, gets the handball back over the top. Massey goes one way, then the other. A quick snap. There's a chance for Cooney. Cooney now comes back to his right foot. He snaps over the top. It ends up into Giles, and Giles hasn't waited for the whistle, and he snapped that one and got it through for a goal, Duff.
Gee.
That was a pretty tough angle.
Great.
As we're going to have a look on the Mood Food replay.
Under pressure again, the Roos just so slippery with the hands, and they take every opportunity, and another great goal.
You see here with Cooney gets it to Giles. He saw the angle and decided to just play on with that deft touch and slotted it through from the very, very tight angle. And this is really putting the blowtorch on the North Hobart Demons at the 4.5-minute mark of this third quarter, Duff.
Gee, another quick one here to the Roos, and she's just about game over here, Andrew.
Yeah, well,
bang, bang, bang. Here we go, though, Cracknell.
Yeah, so Cracknell now gets his left foot onto that one. He goes back in to get it again. He's just pushed off it that time by Lee Song. Lee Song down towards Johnston, and Johnson takes the mark, and they've got to really watch these kiddies, Duff. As soon as they get the ball, they play on at all costs. That's something that Coach Gapin and assistant Setchell have done. I know you and I went to the training session the other night, Duff, and
I couldn't believe it.
That was the thing that they implored on their players. Get the ball, play on, wait for that lead, go into space, take them to the boundary, and then lead back into the danger areas.
But just the way they execute since quarter time here has just been outstanding.
It certainly is, as Jake Smith picks that one up. Dangerously comes across the goal as Maundrill goes the spoil, comes out, and they're under enormous pressure here in the third quarter. North Hobart, they certainly do need a spark as an opportunity as it comes out towards them now. The big man, number 66, is Brocky Sullivan, who tried to bullock his way through, but Clarence had none of it, and they halted that passage of play very nicely. So now picking the ball up is Salzburger, one of the players that has been a prime mover. Salzburger gets it in, comes over the back, but they're backing up Clarence. They've got the numbers. Oh, here's a chance, but luck is a fortune for Clarence. It was good play by Ward, as that the vagaries of that oval ball, Duff, bouncing past North Hobart, comes towards Sullivan, who is their goal kicker. He tries to get the distance, but it is Hudson Ward taking the mark in the last line defence, and I've liked his game down at full back, Duff.
Yeah, just another steady player, creative.
He knows when to man up, and he also now knows where to go off his man towards that open space. So it's on the wing position. Lee Song goes ferociously at the ball, gets a handball, a quick falcon there to young Owen Setchell. I'm sure we'll probably have another look at that. It's Gapin comes up with the free kick. Gapin, plenty of pressure being applied to him. And North Hobart, they're just not going with a great deal of system at this stage, Duff, are they? They're just, because of the pressure that's being applied by the Roos.
And then there's perceived pressure as well.
Absolutely. As you can see there was a little bit of time, but just deciding to get it out, whereas Clarence, they get the ball and they get their head up, and I think that is danger if that might be Harrison McLeod, who's down on that wing, who's just been able to gain his feet and get a clear kick as Connor comes out towards it. But coming out is Ollie Hill from a deep defensive position, and they get that ball out towards the wing position. Gapin gets it back over. I think that might be Lee Song again.
How's the work by Gapin? He's great by foot and he's even better by hand. What a player.
Yeah, no, he's got a good engine, Duff. He'll keep running all day. Back towards Cooney, Johnson. They just back each other up, don't they? So as soon as they give the handball off or the kick, it doesn't stop there. They're running towards that next possession to know who they can help out, as Setchell got a handball onto that one. Back in towards the danger zone. Clarence picking it up through the agency of Gapin, goes the short pass over the top towards Giles, and Giles has put that one through. Great play there by Gapin, Duff.
Still got that sab in my throat, sorry Andrew, but just about player of the day. That's come from the back pocket. That is great football, or half back line I should say. Great footy to watch, Andrew.
We're going to have a look at it again, and we can see here the numbers and the pressure that North Hobart didn't bend down and put their hands on the ball, and Clarence were prepared to run and run and run. You can see the spoil there. The boys were at the bottom of the pack. Gapin picked it up, and this kick here, that's the one that I like, Duff. He could have easily blazed away, but he got it over very unselfishly to a player in better position, did the team thing, and Clarence have put it through again, and they've moved on to 41, and to North Hobart 1 goal to 8, as we're just waiting on that side, I think, for a player to make a change. I think an injured player has gone off. So now we see the ball up, and it's nearly 10 minutes gone in the third quarter of the first of the finals in what's a bumper round of football for the STJFL. And you know, as the weather gets warmer, it was lovely today, about 17 degrees. It is finals time at the end of August. So there's plenty of kids very excited playing probably in the first time for finals football. It just goes up another notch, doesn't it, Duff?
It does. I love this time of year, Andrew.
It certainly is. And of course, a big shout out for Monday night, Duff. Of course, we have got the Robert Beakley Awards, and that's coming to us live as well on Duff TV, and that's something that's very, very exciting.
You're hosting that again this year?
Yes, the old Silver Fox I've booked in to get the toque done, Duff.
Yeah.
I'll be just sort of sprucing, trimming the eyebrows, and I'll be there front and centre and looking forward to hosting what is going to be a very exciting night for the count out at Elwick Racecourse. Cooney, he gets the handball, and again, they don't blaze away. It comes out towards Gapin, and have a look at his run as he pushes that one towards goal, just offline, through for another score, and it is all Clarence here in this third quarter.
Yeah, they've really kicked away, haven't they? It's just North Hobart had such a good first quarter.
Very good, Duff.
Looked every bit as good as Clarence, but they're a shade of the team they were going into quarter time.
So Daniel Cooney takes a nice mark, gets it in towards the full forward area as pressure is being applied as Creswell picks it up. He gets it out now, and shot on goal has missed, and through for the minor score. Lovely night for football here, Duff, as well.
Yeah, we've got the big TSL game coming up. Final game for both sides. Round 18 of TSL footy, Clarence and North Hobart.
And it's great, again, forward thinking to have this game on before, so that there's going to be plenty of kiddies with lots of people watching the game, as that was a nice kick in, but touched again on the line. So North Hobart trying to find something, just get a meaningful build up and get the ball deep inside their forward 50. They've had it in there twice so far this quarter, but unfortunately for them, the defensive work by Clarence has been far too good, as they've really stood tall. Ball being tapped out, cleverly brought back in there by Creswell. It's towards the full forward area, and Ali Giles has put that one through for his third goal for this quarter, Duff.
He's having a night out, isn't he?
He certainly is. He couldn't believe his luck that that one came over the back, and it just sat up so nicely for him. He just caressed that one over the line. As you can see here, it went over the top, just sat up so nicely for him, and he thought, I'll have a piece of this, and he's tapped it through for a very, very easy goal.
It really makes you wonder what North Hobart can do.
Yeah, once...
Get your hand on the ball, boys. That's the thing, Andrew.
This was always, I guess, a fear that if Clarence do get in front, they're a very good front-running team. I'm not saying they're good coming from behind, they're terrific, but once they get that belief, Duff, they're going to be very, very hard to stop. As Williamson picked it up. Great tackle there from North Hobart. Nice play by Jones as he goes back in on a second effort, and the umpire says it was never ever going to come out of there. It was locked in with a good tussle from Davey as well, and the ball up in shoes. Picked up, tapped out by Williamson, gets it towards Cracknell, who has been a little bit quiet in this particular quarter but had a stellar game as McLeod picked it up, but only went as far as Richard, who I think has been absolutely magnificent across half-back flank. Now it is Cracknell goes towards the ball, but McLeod picks it up. McLeod gets it towards the 50, and it's deep into their attacking zone as Mordrill goes back. Oh, he slips at the wrong time now. Can they apply a tackle? Oh, he certainly can. He might have dropped that one, but the umpire comes in. They're calling for ball, but it's just towards the boundary line, and it'll be a throw in. And a little bit lucky to get away with that one, Duff.
Yeah, a difficult one for the umpire. I don't mind them allowing that one to play on. 50.
Yeah, well, he probably did get the handball, so he was right. You can see the goal umpire there was just really keeping an eye on that. I tell you what, that was first-class play by the goal umpire, Duff.
Yeah.
She's very, very efficient in the sticks. Might have been taken a little bit too high, Smith. Let's see how the answer, and that's exactly how the umpire has paid it. So Smith, who's got the goal early for North Hobart, is going back now and has an opportunity to kick his second and his team's second. It's going to be a tough shot and probably a little bit too far, and in going for that extra distance, has pushed it to the left and through for the minor score. Captain Harper plays on quickly. Comes out towards Setchell. North Hobart, they take this one. Comes out towards McLeod. He couldn't quite get his dukes on it. And Smith swoops on it back towards the goals, but through for a minor score. But good signs here, Duff, that they're getting their hands on the ball and they're down their forward line.
Oh, yeah.
Give them some good bit of confidence. Siren sounds for three-quarter time here at North Hobart Oval, the home of Tasmanian football. And we can see here that Clarence have all but an unassailable lead. They are on 50, and a fantastic quarter there by Ali Giles, kicking that 3 goals. As we look back to North Hobart Demons, they are still stuck on 1 goal for 10. Their goal kicker was Jake Sullivan. For Clarence, it was Ali Giles with 3, Maxi Gapin, Ethan Williamson, Darcy Noonan and Charles Leesong, all with singles. So pretty entertaining match, and it's of a very good standard, Duff. But at the moment, Clarence seem to have all the answers with a 40-point lead at three-quarter time.
Yeah, it's a match-winning lead at the moment, Andrew. 40 points. Can't see the Demons coming back from here.
It's going to be tough, but we're going to take a short break and we'll see what the North Hobart can conjure up in the last quarter when we return very shortly. So the siren has gone here for the resumption of the last quarter and what is the first of the finals for the STJFL over this very, very big weekend. Just waiting for the huge crowd that's come to watch the junior footy to clear, as well as the boys who are playing in the senior competition of the TSL. They'll just clear the ground, but there's a lot of games going on this weekend, and so if you're not doing anything on Sunday, get around those grounds. You'll see the future of football in Tasmania. Who knows? There could be a kiddie out here right now who'll be the big next name for Tasmania in the AFL. There's plenty of them out there, Duff.
Did you read the Mercury today? We've got a side on the way, Andrew. Did you read that article? We'll come back to that in a minute, as the Roos already looking dangerous at the start of the last quarter.
Yeah, that was Noonan who took possession of the ball. It's Lee Song who's buttering up, and you know he'll just push his way forward with his strength. But it's North Hobart. They're under pressure within the first early seconds. They have a very nice lead of 40 points to Clarence. They're 7-8-50 to North Hobart. 1 goal for 10. North Hobart defending stoutly on this particular occasion. It's Clarence who try to pick it up. It's been tapped out of the hands of Reynolds, and it will be a boundary throw in. So it's good news, Duff. Is it all official, is it, that Tassie's got a team?
Yeah, no, we've got a side on the way.
Oh, that's fantastic. I hope it is on the way before the old Silver Fox is put in a box and put into the ground, Duff. We'll wait and see. Watch this space as Greswell, he goes in. Again, you can see the smart football sense of Clarence, only with one up and the others just sort of getting out to that outer space. So that's really good football. Instead of hovering over the ball, there's only need for one person to be there, and the others can then feed off that and then get that chain of handballs and then get the run going, which they've done so well tonight, Duff, haven't they?
It's great decision making.
Yes.
In the heat of the moment, what am I going to do now? I'm going to stay down, or I'm going to go up.
Yep.
I'm going to run hard. I'm going to smother like that.
You know, that's when the old
assist. That's
right. The grey matter comes in, doesn't it? Can I affect the play or not? And if you can't affect the play, there's no use you being there. You may as well get in a dangerous position. But first and foremost, if you haven't got the ball, you've got to look around and see if you can man up. But as soon as your team then gains possession of the ball, you get into an offensive position, you run and create, and you get a position that you can receive the ball, or at least take a defender out there, Duff. So it's all about the patterns of run that you go, and it's obviously that Clarence so far this week have been really working hard, as they have done all season. In fact, they have done for all the seasons since under-8 to come to this under-13 clash, where they're doing it very, very nicely in this first round of the finals for 2019.
It's an exciting age because the bodies are getting bigger.
Yes.
Just starting to play like young men. I think Kat might have said that before in the interview.
Absolutely.
And exciting times ahead for both these sides.
Certainly is, as that was Maundrill who did a very nice job down centre-half back for North Hobart. And it is Clarence now through Whiten. Whiten with the handball. Again, they have numbers here. Clarence. Oh, look at that bounce. It just came. That was a Rolls-Royce bounce. We thought it was going to go end on end forward toward the goal. It just went backwards to the hands of Ethan Williamson. And he did not let the team down as he gathered possession. Just double checking, or was that Noonan? I just
22, was it?
Was it 22 or 23? I just couldn't quite see. We'll have another look in a second, Duff.
22 there, Andrew.
Certainly was 22. I was correct in the first instance. It was Williamson indeed, the old sure eyes of the Silver Fox.
He looks like a full forward, doesn't he, Williamson?
Just moved so graciously. Again, he was favoured by a good bounce, but if you're there and you're prepared to put yourself where the ball's going to be, but Duff, you should be favoured by the bounce. No doubt about that. Up they go. So 3.5 minutes gone, and the first goal in this quarter goes to the Roos. They're doing a nice job. I think that was Cooney who gets the handball out to Aziz. Aziz further afield towards Noonan as he goes in. An attempt to punch by Boxall. Comes out towards Johnston. Johnston, an errant kick on goal, has pushed it out to the right-hand side, and only the minor score.
Been let off a few times by the Roos tonight of North Hobart. That's 8 goals, 9 now. Could easily have been a bigger margin here.
I think you're quite true there, Duff. They've had a few more chances. I'm sure Supercoach Gapin will probably, one of the areas he'll work on that. They'll probably stay back after training and just work on those shots on goal. It's something that there's not enough on, is there, Duff? But we'll go back here as McLeod who's an absolute beauty. He drives that ball in towards the goal. But how many times have we seen this happen, Duff, that the Clarence have had the smarts through either Maundrell or Richards to leave their man when necessary and run to where they perceive the ball's going to be?
I tell you what, though, I've been very impressed by McLeod. He's a real Rolls Royce, isn't he?
You know, he's been a good player, and I reckon he'll feature pretty well on Monday night as one of the prime movers in the Beakley Awards, Duff.
Oh, here we go.
I tell you what, that's a really good snap-on goal by Brocky Sullivan, and he should be absolutely thrilled with that effort. He's got the Dusty Martins about him, Duff.
Yeah.
As he's put that one through for a sausage. We probably, I don't know if we can have the capacity to have a look at the Mood Food replay. That is an interesting locks he's got going there, Duff.
I think it's called a mullet.
It is. It's got the old Dad and Dave up the side with a little bit of extra linkage down the back pocket, and he has really put that one through for a lovely snap-on goal. Don't worry about the toop. He has put it through for a good goal to Brock Sullivan, and they really need to run this game out, Duff.
Yeah.
Because they'd be hoping that they can front up in the grand final against this team.
Oh, yeah.
And if they wilt on the vine, that doesn't give them a great deal of confidence. So they really want to work hard to get a couple of goals here.
Richards again, is it, coming out of defence?
It's going to be fascinating to see our best players, Duff, and who will get the award for the best player on the ground.
Oh, you're right, though. You want to take good form into next week, don't you?
Oh, absolutely. And that was Lee Song, who tried to take on one too many, and it's going to be a free kick. I think it's going to Barmford, who hung on, and that's the sort of thing. Those little things are the things that can lift the spirits of a team. The tackle, the shepherd, the getting up and blocking for your teammate. Excuse me, it gives you encouragement as you go into that next game. As Ali Giles goes in towards full forward, it's Williamson who goes one way, then comes back on towards his left foot, and he has nonchalantly put that one through for another major. And Clarence, Duff, they remind me of a big Boeing 747. They use a lot of energy to get themselves up to that flat plane, and now they are just cruising, aren't they? Look at that, just sort of dodged and weaved and then just put it through on the old left slipper.
Yeah, I like Williamson. Very impressed by that boy. How many goals has he got?
3 goals, Duff, and he looks
goals.
very, very dangerous.
Yeah.
Every time it's in his area, he looks kind of likely that he's going to get the onion. So it is 7.5 minutes gone. We are halfway through this last quarter of the final.
Oh, lovely mark.
And it's a strong mark.
Gee.
Courageous mark going backwards by Barmforth.
You've got some interesting sayings, Andrew. You've got onion.
Yeah.
We'll get a word for that. Is that football, is it?
Certainly is, Duff,
right.
one of my old coaches. And
Bonce is another one.
yeah,
Bonce.
the old Bonce.
Yeah, the head, right. And
Yeah.
anyway, we'll come back to all that.
You got to north and south, Duff.
North and south.
Yep. Gapin picks it up. Goes the handball. You worked that one out yet, Duff?
No, I haven't. I'm trying to film here.
Well, just think you talk when you need your north and south when you talk.
Oh, all right. Okay. The mouth.
There you
right.
go, Duff. Well played. And we thank all those people that have been on Twitter and sending in their thoughts. And we've got a couple of, that's young Harry Sullivan from Claremont has come in, Duff.
Yeah.
And he's just told us that it certainly was the old north and south. And he's got another one. He said, what's the boat race, Fox? Oh, that's too easy. That's the old boat race. That's the face. So there's plenty of them there to be had. But it's back to the football here, and the umpires have done a great job. And I know you absolutely have loved seeing the boundary umpires.
Oh, it's just a great part of the game, isn't it, when the ball's thrown in and the ruckman jostle for position.
Certainly is, and there's one of the better players in young Cracknell who was terrific in the first quarter, Duff. Not bad in the second, and it's probably gone out of the game a little bit as the game has gone on. I think Clarence were certainly aware of the potential danger that he could play play in this game, and they probably manned him up a little bit closer.
Yeah, I don't know if he's had a tag, but he's sort of gone out of it a little bit.
So Noonan goes on his left boot down towards the goals. It's slipped through the hands of the North Hobart defender. That was Aitken, and through for a minor score. 9.5 minutes gone in the last quarter. That's a strong mark. Just took a lot of courage to stand there, Duff, young Hudson Ward, as he goes the drop punt, slips through Setchell's hands, but he got himself in terrific position. Comes out towards Conan. Conan with a further afield to Hadfield. He just pushes it over the top, but they've really got the numbers as Hurd normally runs freely onto his left, but goes towards Gapin. He always looks to bring someone else into the game. Back towards Hurd, goes towards the danger zone, but Barmforth, who has been very, very good in this last quarter, takes a telling mark. Here he comes, the Dusty Martin of the under-13s, Duff. Brocky Sullivan comes out.
That's a big statement. Oh, look alike, you mean?
Oh, absolutely, Duff. He's
a good player too, this boy.
No, good lad. Goes out towards young Butler. But Clarence, they've got the numbers over the ball at the moment. There's a little left foot kick comes out. Running hard onto that ball is Davey. And what I've liked about Clarence here, Duff, it's all but like they've got their foot on the opposition's throat, haven't they?
Yeah.
And they could actually let them up and think, oh, we've got this game.
They're in fourth gear at the moment, I'd say.
They're really still applying some pressure. I reckon they've got a little bit left in the tank, but they're certainly not going to make it easy at all for North Hobart. They know this is crucial, it's important, and I'm sure Coach Gapin and Coach Setchell would have implored their players, we just cannot take our foot off the accelerator at this stage, as there's too much at stake in the finals football. That's a really nice tackle there, Duff, by William Davey for North Hobart. He decides to go the handball over to Hills. Hills onto the half-forward flank. But as you can see here, Clarence with a few party tricks goes around the back. That was Blake Harper. It was a strong tackle. Comes out towards Sullivan, a.k.a. Martin, and through the hands and another ball in. Perfect conditions, just absolutely lovely out here on the Darren Perry Oval. It was the Darren Perry end before, and I was corrected, Duff. In fact, I think it was the Darren Perry Oval here at North Hobart. Of course, one of the William Leach medalists, and he's a part of the Hall of Fame, a Team of the Century player, diminutive left foot #9 player for North Hobart. He's an absolute beauty. We saw him come into the ground. I know he's going to be up at a North Hobart function, so all the greats are there watching the future of football on display, like our very dear friends out there watching this game here, courtesy of Duff TV and our huge sponsors. We like to thank them, Cripps the Master Bake, of course, who do it week in, week out, Duff, sponsoring the STJFL. We'll come back to those others, as it's Noonan who picks it up. He just pushes that one on. Bennett's Petroleum and Mood Food and the JMC Motor Car Company. There they all are there, Duff. And of course, you went down and saw them at the Jackson Motor Company, and you've got this magnificent van. It is an absolute beauty. The Volkswagen, isn't it, Duff?
Volkswagen, yes.
It just purrs. I had a run in it the other day, and I said to myself, is the engine going, Duff? It was so quiet. It's an absolutely magnificent machine. I wasn't sure if it was the Volkswagen or it was the fuel that you put in and went to petroleum, Bennett's Petroleum, Duff. I think it was a combo of the two, and that is Charles Leesong, who has snapped that one round his body, Duff. That was from the top shelf, as we'll have another look at that one on the Mood Food replay, the way he picked that one up. And it was a very, very big shoe that he kicked that round his body with. You can see here, they didn't clear it, and he picks it up all from 30 metres out, and he had plenty of distance, and he has slotted that one through for Charles Leesong's second goal, Duff.
Yeah, disappointing there for North Hobart. Even though they've only kicked one goal in the last quarter, they've been working away, chipping it away at the scoreboard. And they've just leaked another goal. So I think that's, 3-1 in this final term.
Yes, it is. They move on to 10-11-71. North Hobart, they are 2 goals, 5-17. They haven't finished yet, as Gapin has taken a nice mark. Comes out towards Riley Johnston. Johnston, he's on the receiving end after giving one off. And coming out, charging at the ball, is the strength of Ethan Williamson. And he's taken a lovely mark on the lead, and it's what they've done all the time, Duff, haven't they? They've kept that area nice and open for the power forwards to lead into.
Yeah, I've said it before. We're really impressed by this boy. Some players are just They've got full forward written all over them, Hoppy, and he's kicked his 4th goal.
So there is Williamson, is very direct and a very nice shot on goal as he put that one through. Very good mark. I like to see a forward come out and take these marks, as we see here on replay. He lost his man. You can see the full back there was William Butler. He was exacerbated there when he put his hands to his head. He said, oh, he's got away from him. He's taken the mark. And just twirling the ball, but running directly at the goal. Duff kept the ball nice and low, directly kicked through the ball and right over the top. And there is the siren. The siren has gone for the first game in the STJFL final series for 2019. And it is Clarence, 11-11-77 to North Hobart Demons, 2-5-17. For the victors, it is Ethan Williamson with 4 goals, Ali Giles with 3, Charles Leesong with 2, Darcy Noonan and Maxie Gapin have got singles. And for North Hobart, it is Jake Smith with 1 and Brock Sullivan with 1. As it was great to see the coaches, Bradley Hasty and Matthew Gapin, get over there and shake hands, and obviously a much happier coach from the Clarence side. They'd be absolutely thrilled with that position, that game there, Duff, the way they went about their work.
Yeah, I think North Hobart have been a little bit disappointed. They just really fell away after quarter time. I thought they fought it out in the last term, although they only kicked 1 goal. But overall, just a very, very good victory by the Roos.
Yeah, the last quarter they tried to stay in it, and they'll be able to hang their hat on that, and that's what Coach Hasty will work on over the next couple of weeks as they go into battle. So it's been a cracker game. Best players, I would have thought. Well, I think Maxie Gapin really got them going in that second quarter, Duff. Ali Giles kicked that 3 goals. But Ethan Williamson, we really loved the way he led out from full forward. And one of the unsung heroes of today's game, I would have thought, was Fletcher Richards, who really kept control from centre half-back position.
Just winners all over the ground.
Yeah, they certainly did. For North Hobart, Harrison McLeod, he just didn't stop trying, did he, all day. He was an absolute beauty. Nathaniel Salzberger was really good, faded out slightly in the game. And the other young fellow that we mentioned early on in the encounter was Angus Cracknell, had a bit of the ball. So as far as we're concerned, Duff, we better wrap it up here now. It's been our absolute pleasure. Jerry's been on the dials, you've been on the camera, and the old Fox's tonsils have been coming to you here from the home of football in Tasmania. We hope you've enjoyed the coverage here on Duff TV. We'll be back to you on Monday night, coming to you live from the Elwick Racecourse for the Robert Beakley Awards. And then, of course, we'll be probably bringing you all the grand finals. So, ladies and gentlemen, it is Andrew Silver Fox Hopwood signing off from Duff TV. Have a very happy and safe weekend, and we'll see you next time on Monday evening.
See you, mate.